Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Mr. Mason's Cottage. I'm Navar Yahuda, and I'm going to be reviewing the Arturo Fuente uh, Hemingway. That's going to be the classic sun-grown perfecto 7 by 48, and that is going to have an Ecuadorian sun-grown wrapper with Dominican uh, binder and filler. It's a very nice cigar. Very good construction. Cap looks good. It has actually, I want to say that's 3 layers. Fucking. Yep, it certainly looks like 3 layers right there on the cap. Excited to get into this one. Alright, so for this cigar, I think I'm going to play it safe and do a guillotine cut since it's my first time trying this cigar. I don't know if this deep V cut is gonna be what I prefer or not on this cigar. I'm not sure yet. So instead of doing this one, I'm gonna go with the straight cut just to be safe. And with all my straight cuts, I usually start out cutting the tip of the cap off with a knife. If the draw's too tight for me, then I'll go ahead and get my guillotine out and I'll snip off a little bit with the guillotine and then test the draw again. But today I got my nice Civivi Praxis, or Mini Praxis. This is the Mini, but I love these things for cutting the tips of those cigars off. It's a very nice and slicey knife, and it being nice and slicey, it reduces the risk of wrapper cracking. It being a perfecto, it's the cap of the cigar is kind of tapered, and it looks like it's smaller on the very tip of the cap than it is on the bottom of the cap, or on the foot of the cap. There was a little stem that I had to cut off. And it kind of it looks like a punch to me. It looks kind of like a punch cut to me, because of how narrow the ring gauge on the top of this cigar is, on the cap of this cigar. All right, let's cold draw this and see how tight the draw is. The draw's just about perfect. Oh, a lot of sweetness. A lot of sweetness off of that cold draw. Cocoa. Nice cocoa sweetness. It's not too windy out here, so I'm going to try to lighten it with a soft flame butane. I'm about needing a new one of these little disposable soft flame butanes because the internal's kind of melting on it from getting too hot too many times. But it still works. And I just filled it up with butane. Alright, tip's lit up. It is tapered, so I'm not used to a tapered foot like that, where it decreases in size at the foot. But let's try this out and see how it goes. I'm just lighting the very tip of it and seeing how the rest of it lights up. If I need to relight it or touch it up as I go or not, or if it's gonna light itself. Didn't get much off of that. Let's see. It's very smooth, that light up, and just getting creamy and cocoa. Natural sweetness, creamy and cocoa. Dark chocolate. Alright. Let's see if this thing lights up properly. And I'll be back at the end of the first third to see how these flavors do. Alright, so it did end up going out on me. It's not a big deal. It's kind of a weird shape at the front, but I'll just relight it. Get this last little bit. No, it shouldn't do that to me anymore, since that taper part is almost gone now. So it should be well lit almost all the way through it. But I'll be back at the end of the first third with any updates. Alright, getting down to the end of the first third here. It did ash on me at about an inch, and it looks like I'm gonna have to touch it up a bit here. It didn't try to go out on me again at all. A little bit wavy of a burn line, not bad though. I used the single flame torch lighter to touch up my cigars, but it's a pretty smooth cigar so far. It does have some pepper, kind of white pepper flavor and feel to the mouth. It's definitely has a peppery feel to the mouth. I'm not too big of a fan of that. So I'm hoping it dies down a little bit as the cigar, as I continue smoking the cigar. And then it does have a lot of naturally sweet notes. The chocolatiness kind of died down, and it's harder. I can't really pick up too much on that right now. And then it's gotten kind of bitter, which I'm not a fan of bitter cigars either. and it's drying my mouth out just a little bit, so it's a little bit of a dry smoke. Right now it's a little harsh than what I would like. I'm hoping this cigar gets better, as right now it's kind of a letdown to me right now, but we'll see. We'll see how it progresses, and I'll be back with y'all at the end of the second third. Alright, so I wanted to get this on camera before it ashed on me, but it got probably about 2 inches of ash on it. Nice construction. As soon as this part burns down, it's a little bit of a wavy burn right now, so this outside is a little bit higher than this side. So once this burns down a little bit, I imagine it's gonna go ahead and ash on me. But oh, there it goes. But I'm gonna go ahead and touch that up. I almost let it go up. I knew I was about to do that. But I wanted to get that ash on camera before that happened. It has some cream to it. I am liking the retrohale on it. I'm getting earthiness with the retrohale, which is really nice. I got that in the first third, but I just didn't mention it on accident. But I did get that through the first third, and that's something that's kind of saving this cigar for me, because I do like earthy cigars. Like the Oliva Series G is a very earthy cigar to me, and that's in my everyday rotation. So I definitely give props to the earthiness on the retrohale of this. And I also started drinking my cappuccino with it, and that seemed to help with the bitterness and the dryness of the cigar. And it pairs really well. So I think with this cigar, the coffee actually gives flavor to this cigar. So I'm definitely liking that pairing. But I'm almost down to the end of the second third. But I'll keep you on touch, and I'll be back at the end of the final third. Only got about 3 inches left of this cigar, but it just ashed on me. It had about 2 inches of ash on it, or an inch and a half of ash on it, and it also went out on me, so I'm having to relight it. But it's so this thing actually has went out on me a couple times so far now, so that's a little bit disappointing for this stick in general. I mean, it's easy to relight, but it's just, for the reputation of this cigar, it's kind of a letdown. And the price point of this cigar, it's a little bit of a letdown for it. The flavors are still very consistent on it. Nothing's really changed. I'm still getting a lot of that earthiness on the retrohale, and then the subtle sweetness. Now it's not as prominent as first light up, but there is a subtle natural sweetness there, and there is still quite a bit of bitterness, but like I said earlier, the coffee does good with that. and take some of that bitterness away. I think I am going to get back with y'all whenever I get ready to pull off the band. So I'm getting really close to the band, so I'm going to go ahead and take off this band. It got about half an inch of ash on it, and it's probably going to ash really soon. The wrapper, I'm probably going to touch up the wrapper real quick too, because the wrapper seems not to be burning right now, but that band came off really easy. It was already loose on the cigar, and it's pretty clean on the back. Didn't stick to the cigar at all. So pluses for that, minus for the for it not burning all too great right here. But it's still a good smoke, medium to medium plus, and still able to retrohale it, even though it's only got about 2 inches left on this cigar. So we're pretty well into the final third of this cigar, with it being a 7-inch cigar. It's still getting basically the same flavor, same notes. So I'll be back with y'all closer to the end of this cigar, closer to the nub. Alright, getting down to the nub of this cigar. And it's been a consistent cigar all throughout, I can say that. But ultimately, it's been kind of a letdown. I've said that several times throughout this cigar, so you know it's true. For me, personally, at least. The first letdown was it going out. It almost went out before I started this, started the video back up, and I had to touch it up and get some heat back on it. The next letdown was, for me, the flavors were not as great as some of the other cigars that I really enjoy. So I don't like the bitterness all too much. And then the mouthfeel, I don't like how dry that it makes my mouth feel. And then a lot of that chocolate kind of went away from the beginning. It's not all that complex to me. I'm still able to retrohale if I watch how I'm drawing this cigar, even at the nub. So it's not too hot for me to retrohale, which is nice. And I like the earthiness from the retrohale that it gives, as well as the subtle sweetness was consistent all throughout the cigar. And the white pepper was also pretty consistent throughout the whole cigar. This cigar may very well be for somebody out there, but I personally don't think I'm going to be picking up another one. I would much rather something like the Oliva Series V for the same price range as the Hemingway series is. I would go for the Series V any day of the week. If I had the choice between this and that, I'd pick up that one every time over this one. But it's still smokable. I would smoke this one if someone gave me another one, or if someone wanted to smoke with me and they chose this cigar, and I would still smoke it with somebody, and definitely pair it with a coffee, because the coffee is what saved this cigar for me. So this cigar was it was an okay cigar. I mean, it was relaxing, but it's, to me, I don't think it's worth all the hype that it gets. But I would like to try the Don Carlos one and see if it's better than this one, as well as there's a lot of other Fuentes that I would like to try because I do like the brand. There are cigars from Arturo Fuente that I do enjoy more than this one. Give it a try and see for yourself what you if you like it or not. It's just not my flavor profile, but it may be yours. If you like this review, then uh, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to see all the upcoming cigar videos and content. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.